Hey Malvina, it's so great to have you on our webinar series, Punching Through. So thanks so much. I know we know each other from the advisory space for Bailey Capital, which is awesome. But you also have just an incredible rap sheet on the fintech landscape, and you just head up the money movement at PayPal, which is an amazing journey in itself. So I just wanted you to kind of like introduce yourself a little bit, and then we'll just hop in and have a conversation.
Sure. Hey, Tiffany. First of all, look, thank you for having me, because it's been a journey for all of us, right? We all know what it's like to be a female in this world. We all know what it's like to be a female in both financial and technology. So thank you. Truly appreciate it. Support the cause. Absolutely. My name is Malvina Guretsky. I've been on Wall Street actually for over 30 years now. It's been a long and very rewarding and very interesting journey. And right now, fate should have it that I lead money management, money movement in and out of PayPal. So love the company, by the way. Great people, great culture.
That's awesome. So when you kind of like think about your time, like what stands out to you? Like what's been like a really pivotal moment that you look back and like that really shaped my leadership style, shaped me as a human being, like when you're thinking about your career and like that 30-year run you spoke of?
It's interesting because people do think about pivotal moment, and Julia Roberts, I bet, would just know how to answer this question right away. But the reality is anything but. I never considered myself a leader. And although I was managing a few teams, and that was back in the early 90s, and I was more of a manager rather than a leader. And then what happened was I actually changed career paths, and I went from being people manager to specifically to product management. And I went from managing X number of people to managing 0. And I thought it was going to be rather a relief. And the next day I woke up and realized that all of a sudden it's not about control, it's about influence. And that was the start of my journey of a leader. It's not the end. I'm still work in progress, but that was the first jolt of a realization that I had, that I needed actually to switch to influencing people, which is much harder job than anything else.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really insightful. Was there anything, like tough decisions that you had to make, or things that were really challenging where you had to put that influence to practice, and really like flex that muscle?
On a daily basis, Tiffany. Again, people ask about like what was the toughest decision you had to make. It's no mystery. It's public knowledge, for example, that PayPal just laid off almost 10% of our workforce. And we laid off 2,500 people. That's just the latest example of a tough decision. And I know that everybody says it's not personal, it's business, but it is personal to those people. It's personal to us. How do you say goodbye to the colleagues? How do you choose who lives, who dies? And it's very tough. You try your best. You try to separate business from personal. You try to make the right decisions, not just for the enterprise, but for those people. You have to truly believe that this separation is the best thing for both, but it doesn't get easier. It only gets harder. So again, this is just the latest example. Every single day you wake up in the morning, you promise yourself that you're going to try harder and you're going to try to be a good person and a good leader. And then at the end of the day, you do a check with yourself. Did you succeed or did you fail? And hopefully most of the days the answer is you've succeeded, but then some days you fail yourself, and then you get up next morning and you try it again.
Yeah, that's really like doing the hard work, as I like to say. Like that is the hard work. Yeah. Like again, like the landscape of your business, where where would you have liked to seen like change happen? Like, you talked at the beginning about being a female, we live at the intersection of technology and financial services. And like, if you can make a wish or, have the magic wand or say this initiative or this thought process, like would help propel us forward, like what would that be for you just based on your experience?
That's also a tough one, Tiffany. None of these questions are easy, right? What I struggle with on almost daily basis is victim's mentality as a female or as a male. I think that, and this is not, to paraphrase Cheryl, lean in. This is not a lean in conversation, but this is also about what can we ourselves do better. Like, let me give you an example. When I was growing up in this business, I didn't know what my rights are as a female. I didn't know that I could demand something, that I could stand for something. I just accepted everything as par for the course. I think it was on me as much as it was on everybody else. When I had my first child and I was told to, for example, pump my breast milk at a public bathroom because no other facility was available, I didn't know that actually I could have stood up and demanded something better. I just took it. And so fast forward 30 years of our journey. The journey is not done. The journey is always ongoing. Fast forward 30 years from that, I look at my daughter now, who's 16 and a half, and I think that she is more aware of who she is and of her rights as a person, and as a female, than I ever was, honestly. And so I take pride in that. So it's, I guess, to answer your question, it's education, but it's not just educating somebody. I take offense at this notion that it takes a male to acknowledge or to let females in. No, it takes both of us. It takes us understanding what we want, what our goals are, what we stand for, as much as the world letting us in. And so again, I look at my daughter, for example, and thank God for that, that the young generation now just knows what to ask for, how to ask for it, what their values are, and what they stand for. So in one word, if I were to answer your question, like what needs to happen, more of that, more education, everybody else and ourselves.
That's awesome. That's super powerful. And I think too, like you're also modeling that for your daughter, right? Like, so it's like the education, but how, just what a blessing it is to get to see that in action every day. So I really appreciate you just taking a few minutes, showing us how you punch through and continue to punch through. So thank you so much for your time and for joining us today.
Tiffany, anytime, honestly. And I am so honored to be part of this. And good luck to you guys, ladies. And we are moving onwards and upwards always.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Sure. Bye, guys.